Hello and welcome back to Tyranny. This is a relatively late night one, so I'm going to try and be quiet, if that makes any sense. Hopefully with the podcast mic it won't be as big of a deal since I know that it's better. Finally gotten off that caffeine high I had earlier. When we last left off, we were merciful to the Oathbreakers and took over the town that we're currently in. And the Day of Swords still approaches. So we completed our takeover of Echo Call Crossing. Actually, before I leave, I believe there was a quest I had. I have to find the missing shipment of iron. Which if I recall correctly, should be somewhere on the south side of the map, by the river. I may not be remembering correctly, but I'll find out. Hey, there we go. Hold on. Oh, that's the Dead Furies. Let's see.
See that?
There we go, disfavored iron.
Can't do that.
But it still says to search for clues, which has me curious. Why is 12:30? I'm thinking right now. It says the rest of the shipment must be nearby, but that door isn't accessible. Unless it's... Oh, there's some places to search at the very least. Let's see. just Mr. Helper is what I am.
Spotted something.
Well, I guess I'll check the houses. I don't believe there to be anything in here, but if there is, I will find it. I will say that much.
Sorry, I can't.
Let's check this house. Actually, no. Let's check these crates over at the
Sorry,
side.
I can't. Found something.
And then let's check this house. Fortunately, this version of Ethan knows just a little bit of lockpicking. Although... Hey, there's some iron. The old man barges into the door behind you. You motherless whoremonger! He attempts to usher you away with the pointed end of his walking stick. Get out! I found forge-bound iron in one of these barrels. You have a great deal to explain, old man. The old man points his walking stick at your face. It's always the young pushing the old. I had no choice in the matter. Strange men appeared here a fortnight ago. They claim to be supporters of the Vendrien Guard, but I've never seen them before. He stamps a foot in a fit. I had no choice. These so-called freedom fighters threatened my life if I didn't comply. Villagers forcing you to help the guard? That sounds suspicious. Haven't been listening to a damned thing I've been saying, or do you have shit for ears? The old man twitches as his spittle lands on you. That's exactly what I was saying. I don't want any part of this foolish war. Well, seems like you're stubborn and ignorant to me of Sage. I'm taking the iron. You may stay. Thank you, Fatebinder. I'm thinking he was framed. There's no reason for them to do that. I know these rebels well. Either way, the iron is mine. So, before I do any of that, let's meet up with the rebels. I have plans. Plans within plans. Plans within plans within plans. It's one of those series where you kind of have to read what's going on screen. I'm going to do my best to read them out, but there's so many things that I can't quite get to. Before you stands Captain Tarkus Ari, de facto leader of the dwindling Vendrien Guard. Short, sunburned, and agitated, even when standing still, her body is a compact sculpture of muscle and bone, and her face is short on symmetry thanks to scars and dents of a dozen brushes with death. Why you grant an audience to this one mystifies me, Fatebinder. We should be running these Oathbreakers through and parading their ruined bodies about the battlefield. Harsh, but I like it. You have my permission to stop the negotiations and fair bear explain any time now. Calm now. We're not here to start a fight. Peacebinder, thank you for accepting my summons. She points to a tattered swath of blue fabric hanging from her belt. The one tailor amongst us was too busy mending armor. I apologize for the tier's most underwhelming blue flag. I'm Captain Tarkus Ari of the Vendrien Guard. Fatebinder, you may work for the enemy, but your actions are tinged with honor, mercy, and even a shred of respect for the tiers. After much debate, we agreed we should take the risk to meet you in person. I'll be impressed if this is some clever ruse. Less so if we truly mean to steer our loyalties away from two indomitable armies that support us, and more importantly, pay well. In accordance with ancient customs, north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. As a Fatebinder and emissary of Kairos, I will hear your words. Thank you. As reigning captain of the Vendrien Guard, first among equals, I am honored to have your opportunity to speak. Our little stand is nearing its end. Had we been taking wagers, I'd have given us 2 weeks at best. Miraculously, we have lasted 2 months. Though I doubt Kairos' historians will mention these details. No doubt, the record will describe us as a footnote. But we never assumed we'd successfully carve our own free realm out of Kairos' claim. We're brave, not stupid. No, we did this knowing we'd all perish, but in doing so, set an example that might catch on like wildfire. The captain clears her throat, turning red as she speaks. However, we now have a chance. A chance to spread our message of resistance throughout the tiers. You are the missing thread in our tapestry. Am I the first agent of Kairos you've peddled this chosen one speech? She flinches with a snorting laugh. I suppose so. Fair point, sure sounds like we're burning you up for something, and I suppose we are. We have a sliver of a chance, and it happens to rest upon your cooperation. I think we both know where this is going, so go on and say it. Fine. The Vendrien Guard would like your help in ridding the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus from their valley. We know of the edict, and we know that it'd be a death sentence hovering over all currently sealed in the valley. How could they possibly know if somebody hadn't told them? I blame the voices of Narat. Nothing requires us to stomach his treachery a moment longer. Have you grown paranoid since last I saw you? Is that helmet adding too much pressure to your skull? And we've since learned 2 important details. We know that Ascension Hall must be taken by an agent of Kairos, and we know all the valley will perish if this does not happen. She shakes her head, turning pale as he does. We were right to fear the Overlord. If Kairos' army kills us, we die. If we kill Kairos' army, we die. Charming little dilemma we've been given. I've had plenty of time to ponder this edict. So long as an agent of Kairos claims Ascension Hall, we're safe. That agent could be me. Well, yeah, that's pretty close to what we had in mind, actually. I told you this one was smarter than the average soldier. Our plan is this. We want you to take Ascension Hall. We will serve you as your warriors. And then, under your command, we would secure Ascension Hall in your name. Or so that's our foolish notion. Eb interjects with a hollow laugh. What say you, Fatebinder? You proclaimed this edict. You are more an expert in the Overlord's logic. Will this work? Kairos' magic is unknowable, but this sounds like a better plan than nothing. Considering the certainty of our doom, I'll take any port. She lets out a long sigh as she turns to her comrades. Now, while that might take care of the edict, that still leaves us the problem of the Archons. Would be hard-pressed to best the disfavored or the chorus, but against a combined force, our defeat is certain. You're afraid of something unlikely to happen. Graven Ash is proud, but unwilling to work with the Archon of Secrets, and the Voices of Nerat is pretty dang adamant about negging Ash to death, which he doesn't quite appreciate, so I don't think that his favorite and the chorus will work together. We only know that the Archons from stories, from across the battlefield. What say you, Fatebinder? Can this rift be exploited? Could you taunt or trick them into mutual ruin? Why waste time? Let's go and claim it at once. That would actually make matters worse. So long as the edict looms, the valley remains sealed, and the enemy cannot gain reinforcements or supplies from across the mountain. Moreover, the edict is putting pressure on the Archons. That'll make them both prone to errors. If we remove the edict, we can give them a breadth of options. Since it's competition, neither wants to share the glory. Well, the next question I have is the all-important one, then. You've shown us mercy, the likes of which we haven't seen since our forces crossed the Gate of Judgment. Is it wrong to say join us, but rather, will you accept us as your vassals, your deputies, officers? What does one call the servants of a Fatebinder? The turn-in is yeoman warder. The modern court uses deputy or officer. Either way, I will accept your vow of fealty. I ask total dedication of my warriors, so it's only fitting I be willing to offer you the same. If worse comes to pass, I think we'd all be happier sworn to you than Nerat. I, Tarkus Ari, pledge myself to your service, loyalty, and life. She falls to her knee and bows with a flourish. The other warriors present follow suit, each supplicating themselves before you, reciting their names and pledges of fealty. And I, Eb, School of Tides, offer you my fealty. She bows curtly, keeping her eyes focused on you the entire time. Then it is done. Our skeins united. We just might escape the edict yet. If that is all, await my arrival at Ascension Hall. Excellent. Return to the camps. See what sort of chaos you can foment, and meet us back at the Citadel. Not hard to miss. She points to the vertical line in the horizon, the mountain spire at the center of the valley. Just walk towards the giant obvious landmark. Until we meet again. She nods to you, bowing slightly. His quill finally coming to a rest, Lantry looks up from a scroll of notes. Thank you. Now I have their side of the story. A good chronicle chapters. Any of those possible? Which usually means one. A gesture as strange as any I've seen. You've earned their loyalty, but they aren't fighting for the chorus yet. I might have learned a thing or two about compromise. Don't place too much faith in the hands of these southerners. They will turn on us surely as they did the last time they bent the knee. New quest is so Discord. Don't really have to do that. They'll do it on their own. Foolish bastards. I like Graven Ash, but he's a fool. And I like Nerat, but he's... Actually, I don't like Nerat. Nerat's just chaos incarnate. Stop for a moment. I would speak before you make any more mistakes. Bear grabs his helmet thoroughly over the bridge of his nose. Something on your mind, big guy? Or so that iron and bronze finally tired you out? Fatebinder, I cannot claim to understand your motives or your reasoning. The Oathbreakers and the Chorus are to blame for the problems of this siege, and you seem to think that sponsoring this chaos will somehow solve it? I would strongly urge you to turn back on these friends of yours, and throw your support behind the disfavored. Don't worry, Barrick. I haven't made any firm decisions as of yet. He studies you for a moment and allows some of the tension to leave his shoulders. If you say so, that you trust in these Oathbreakers at all is cause for alarm. They are enemies for a reason. Take care with your loyalties, Fatebinder. You may have earned Tunon's confidence, but mine is less certain. Whatever. They're in the war tent. The fucking idiots. But I like Graven Ash, but I can't. He has his flaws. More
Sorry,
so than
I
I'd
can't.
like. And I know the way this goes. If I didn't know the way this goes, I'd fight for him, but I know the way this goes. Have you found the iron yet? Here it is. Well, I can't tell you what it means to have this back in our hands. I'll make sure to tell my Spire about what you've done for the Legion. Just why I'm helping the disfavored. It's the right thing to do. They're foolish, stubborn people, but they're evil technically. But their path is their path. If I could change it, I would. See, the real Ethan would basically... Well, I should pause this before they start prattling. Their path is their path, but if Ethan had parameters outside that of the game, I would use the information I have to get Graven Ash to see reason, and I would make the disfavored and the various rebel factions of the tiers work together against Kairos and the Scarlet Chorus. I would at least attempt to, because I have leverage over Ash. This version of Ethan doesn't, because it's the game, and, you know, he doesn't have the knowledge that I have, but if he did have the knowledge I'd use that leverage against Ash, and hopefully some peace would arise, but that's not going to happen. So, as I said in one of the previous episodes, if one of you can type what they're going to say in the comment section, because I cannot physically read them out in their accents fast enough before the text disappears, just to help your fellow viewers get more information. So I'm just going to stand here and let them rattle and prattle on. Yeah, I'm just going to let them rattle. As I said, they're both fools. But it looks like their conversation is over.
How can we trust your rabble not to turn at this last moment? How many of your conscripts have family bonds to the Vendrien Guard? It is decided. The disfavored will take the vanguard of the assault. It is the only way to assure success before the edict comes to pass.
Graven Ash's war pulses your eardrums, his face reddening as he yells, lacking composure. Which is his problem. That's why I say he's a fool, is he doesn't let Narat's insults wash off of him.
Oh, you're so young. We can forgive you for being stupid. Without your Archon of Stone to bring down those walls, you're out of your element. Only the chorus has the numbers required to swarm the walls from all sides. We will lead the vanguard of this battle.
The best the chorus could accomplish would be leaving a ramp-shaped pile of corpses propped up against the walls for my warriors to use.
Not
Their
bad.
fortifications are not a concern. Even understaffed, my Earthshakers could breach the masonry in short order.
Another brilliant idea. Cairn's cult is, we're sure, every bit as trustworthy and sane as the late Archon of Stone himself. You did notice the spire at the center of the citadel? Hard to miss it, being only the tallest thing on the horizon and such. Certainly your Earth mages won't do anything stupid like, say, breaking the spire's foundation. What could possibly go wrong?
He lazily twirls his scepter. We love saying that name. Cairn. Just to watch him squirm. Graven Ash had so much hair before he met us.
I trust them more than I trust your circus of rapists, sellswords, and turncoat tearsmen.
Archon Ash turns his head, and upon seeing you in the tent, relaxes his posture.
Tunon's Fatebinder has arrived.
The war tent falls silent, and all eyes turn to you expectantly. Done bickering?
Us? Never. How else will we keep each other at the top of our crafts?
The Archon of War lets it alongside as he rubs his forehead in irritation. Our operations in Echo Hall Crossing and the Tripnettle Wilderness were successful. Why aren't you two marching on Ascension Hall?
Nothing would please us more than to be done with this wretched valley. Perhaps if we had more support from the disfavored and from the court.
Now that we are all assembled, I want reports. The Scarlet Chorus was going to resolve the Oathbreaker presence in the Outer Valley. What became of that?
Yes, what did become of that? We should know already, yet we do not. If we are not mistaken, the Fatebinder played a pivotal role in this operation. Fifth Eye, shed light on this baffling question.
It is a case of a mysterious disappearances. The Oathbreaker patrol disappeared. So too did Pelox Florian. So too did our scouts sent to follow the Fatebinder.
Really? Fatebinder, explain this at once. Were the Oathbreakers at Tripnettle destroyed? And how is it that Chorus knows so little about its own operation?
Fake Limp and his gang tried to pick a fight and had to be put down. Pilox Florian escaped in the chaos.
Iron Marshal, I understand we've established a foothold across the Matani. Report.
Securing the Matani was a gruesome affair. An agent of the School of Tides still lives, and the river was turned against us. Despite our losses, the day ended in success at Echo Call Crossing, though victory came at quite the cost. When it came time to secure the nearby village, there was a distressing discovery. The villagers had been stashing iron weaponry, no doubt stolen from our supply lines. Commander Atino wished to burn the whole village, but the course disagreed and the Fatebinder backed their claim. One detail my 4 reports failed to explain: the fate of the enemy captain. She seemed to have escaped during the fighting at Echo Call Village. All reports indicate the Fatebinder was the first in the village. Tell us, good Fatebinder, what became of the enemy leader? You mean Matani Sybil? I killed her. Who told you otherwise? Antio? Bitterquip?
So it is our agents who are shamelessly vomiting lies into the laps of their allies, and not you. Our apologies. How kind of you to clear that up. Kairos' Day of Swords approaches, and our allies in the disfavored in the court refuse to work with us. There is clearly only one reason for this. Graven Ash and Tunon have allied against us. You conspire to rob us of our deserved glory.
Emerald-colored Trey. I love his voice. Like, as much as I hate him as a character. Because I'm a good person and I hate him. Because he's evil as fuck. Like, even more overtly than Ash. Like, Ash is evil too, but he has his reasons. I can get him. I love that voice. It's so good. It's so good. It's so perfect. I love it. Emerald-colored trails appear in the air as the Archon madly swings his scepter, gesticulating with glowing rage.
We see how it really is. You're all against us.
If the two of you are unwilling to work together as the Fatebinder of Tunon, I will order you to do so. Because you're both idiots.
With whom do you stand?
The voice of Narat's mask tilts sideways as he lurches forward, waggling his scepter at you.
Now is not the time for compromise. One of us will have the honor of completing this glorious conquest. We know you will choose wisely.
The voices of Narat clearly has the superior command.
You stand with the madman and his rabble? I am shocked. I counted you amongst our allies, and your name was held in some regard amongst my troops.
Sparks dance from around the Archon's iron regalia as Graven Ash fumes.
So be it. I will add another name to our record of hate. Out of respect for the Blue Flag truce, I won't have you slain where you stand. If you leave my camp and don't look back.
A wise choice. The Scarlet Chorus will be honored to silence the last of the Vendrien Guard insult. Graven Ash, We hereby order you to stand down and remain here at camp until we have secured the citadel.
If the chorus leads the charge, they will fail. I will not sit idly by while the edict claims my legion. The disfavored will carve a path to the citadel on our own, if that's what it takes.
The air crackles with electricity as Ash lifts his maul to strike. And that just happened. Fatebinder. Your vision comes into focus, as does the feeling of a hand on your shoulder. Are you with me, Fatebinder? You don't look hurt, but say something. Something. Ah, good. Same old Fatebinder. Was worried for a second there you'd been seriously hurt. Your guardian here came to your rescue. Crimson Spear taps Barrick on the shoulder with a hearty smile. Barrick turns to greet the gesture with a cold stare.
I wasn't trying to save you. I was trying to save her.
He points to Verse and sighs.
And what happened, you bleeding hard iron shit tower?
Verse crosses her arm and glares.
I picked her up and she stabbed me. Put a dent in my side that I won't forget. So I put her down and dragged you out here to recuperate.
That was an honorable thing to do, Barrick.
You're welcome. And here's where we part company. You've made your allegiances clear. Good luck and good riddance.
No. I'm not losing you. This isn't about choosing sides. It's about resolving the edict. Stay with me as my deputy for at least that long, then I will release you from service. Nah, I can't really do that because that's a lie. I needed to make a decision, and I sided with the army that has the numbers. You were too quick to label me an enemy.
I've had enough of your justifications and empty values. Your actions speak a great deal louder than your slippery words. How could I put my trust in an enemy of the great general? Why shouldn't I simply kill you now, traitor?
Barrick? Oh no. I've made him mad. This is bad. Oops. I should have sided with Ash. I have made a mistake here. Oh well. I am my own meat shield now. I like Barrick. I want him to be with me because he's a good person. It's hard to label him good. He's an honorable person. Let me put him that way. He may not be good, but he's honorable. He roars towards you with inhuman fury and shoves you with all of his strength. He raises his hands as if to strangle you and then lowers them, trembling with restraint.
No. You aren't worth it. I have too much to accomplish in service to the great general to deal with you now. When we meet in the field of battle, I won't have any reservations about cutting off your breath.
You do realize that you struck an agent of the court, don't you? Barrick stands perfectly still, his hands balled at his sides. By my office, I command you to stand by my side as an unwilling vassal. Welcome to the war, soldier.
Between my temper and your reckless authority, I don't know which of us I hate more right now. Very well. Know that whenever I raise my arm in combat, I would rather bring it down on your head.
I will try so fucking hard to earn his loyalty back. He's stubbornly with the general, and I sided with the chorus simply because I'm going to betray them, and betraying the chorus directly, it feels better than betraying the... Because either I betray that is favored immediately, which I did,
where I pretend to be their ally and then backstab them. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make it plain and simple that I am their enemy. I'm not going to claim to be their ally and then stab them in the back. They don't deserve that. The Scarlet Chorus does deserve that. Hence my decision. This is the choice that I had to make, and I will see it through, despite my reservations. As I said, Tyranny is a game where evil has already won, and I'm fighting against it, and the allies that I make may not like my stance, so I have to deal with that. The voices of Narat have already departed for camp. I'm heading there now. Come join us. We would be honored to have you join us for the assault. He lets out a wicked chuckle as he turns to depart. I mean, it's not like there's anything left for you here. My decision was made. I'll do what I can. I have to. You've returned. We were beginning to fear you'd been detained or worse. Changed your mind. A few of my soldiers doubted you. Thanks for proving them wrong. Our scouts confirmed that the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus are on full march, though their troops do not move as one. I trust you're able to drive a wedge between the Archons? Tense words were spoken, bridges were burned, and the Archons divided, and it only cost me my good standing. Make no mistake, we're deeply grateful for what you're doing and have already done for us. When this is over, anyone still angry at you will have to deal with us. Even divided, they have a vested interest in someone winning. Let's not get too cocky. The Archons bicker but are forced to fight together. This would be almost as humorous as if the fate of the Tears were not in the balance. We should get ready. Actually, no. There was talk of consorting with the Oathbreakers. Is this true? To an extent, yes. Once two span back, we traded disfavored prisoners, as is our tradition, for what we thought was a truce from both armies. Fighting tapered but did not cease entirely. Still, we were happy for any let-up in hostilities. We should get ready. Agreed. We're about to have the Overlord's two armies crash down upon us. This is going to be messy. Their lack of cohesion is our saving grace. We hope they can take their eye off the prize and turn on each other. I noticed a few sages have joined your cause. I'm assuming they're enhancing the defenses? We've adopted a few stragglers that fled the burning library. They're a shifty bunch, but given the circumstances, we're forced to trust. She stares at you for a long moment. Whatever we can get. The sages have earned their keep by helping us mend the walls of this old joke of a fort. She points out the Citadel's masonry. This place worked even worse before they started working their little sigils. Sigils, darling. They're... That's the Freudian slip, ain't it? Is that what it's called? I don't know, whatever. When you breed something, but it ends up being something else. Because she said signals, not sigils, and I said sigils because that's the correct word, and that's what my brain read. Anyway, sigils, darling. They're called sigils. Yeah, yes, indeed. Well, let's say we survive, then what? We'd be overly optimistic to think we survived the edict. I'd say any plans beyond that are premature. Oh, God. You're not even the slightest bit confident? I swear, if I die because of this bullshit. That's what Ethan would say. Like, I know that I'm cool, but he doesn't. Well. The Archons are... that's not really an answer, but considering our odds of survival, future plans do seem wildly over-optimistic even by our standards. Well, the Archons are now at war. Once it's resolved, the Archons will be too busy attacking each other. That's true. The disfavored could not afford to focus too much on us, lest they be overwhelmed. Yeah, the Chorus would want to link up with their superior numbers before fighting more.
She taps her chin deep in thought. You're right. If we survive the siege, we'd become strategically less relevant to either army. Ready yourself. Victory's almost at hand. I applaud your spirit. If nothing else, we get that heroic last stand we've all been daydreaming about. She nods with a stern grimace and turns to her soldiers. Lads, lasses, get to your crews and ready and in position. Battle awaits. Battle is upon us, and the time for worrying is over. Addressing the guard, Ari ties off the straps of her gauntlets, flexing her fingers as she tightens her grip. And now we fight as the best we can, until there's no fight left to give. Surrender means a slow death, or something worse, perhaps being Narat's plaything. So as long as you draw breath, keep swinging. Fatebinder, I need you to join the crew stationed by the wall to the east. I don't have enough hands to cover this whole citadel, and if we're right, that's where the disfavored will try and strike. I will keep our remaining troops here to protect the front gate against the chorus. I'm pulling rank and calling it. I'm on escort. I'll make sure nothing happens to the Fatebinder. The Fatebinder can take care of himself. Besides, what of... Well, maybe I want to keep a watchful eye on our newest ally. Besides, they must know about me now after Echo Call, and I'm certain they'll single me out if they see me. I figure if I stay next to the traitor Fatebinder, then we might be paralyzed with indecision over whom to attack. If I had an extra shield bearers, I'd argue with you, but you're right. Perhaps it's better you fight us alongside the Binder. Now I'm heading into the keep. Hopefully the battle doesn't get that far. The captain nods as she turns to leave, tapping her finger to her temple in salute. Hear that? That's the sound of victory coming. Best luck to you all. Let's see. Thanks. I'll welcome your assistance. Well, that's the spirit. What's the worst that could happen? We die horribly and take a lot of foreign shields with us. Not like I had better plans for the day. I will remove
Be
Varric,
seeing you, Fatebinder.
because I am the shield wall. Good hunting, Fatebinder. She taps her helmet in salute before turning to the rest of her crew. Take positions. Ready your weapons. Alright, so Ebb. The Archons inform me that the recapture of the Citadel from the Vendrien insurrectionist continues apace. That they wrote me separately of their divergent tactical intentions engenders no small concern, but I trust now in your efforts. May your good judgment see you through the coming confrontation with glory and success back to the safety of our court. Express concern. Your bird finds me on the road to conflict and bloodshed, and I cannot but wonder the wisdom of the decisions and acts that have brought us this point. I would not question the Overlord's will, yet I find myself divided. If this edict comes to pass and I never see your court again, I hope you remember the agreements we forged when you swore me into your service. Now. Oh, I'm just 1 point shy. Oh well. And then, let's see. Update her lightning.
she needs some frost spells, so... And then some more lightning. And then... There we go. Oh, and then I have acquired some stuff, so... It's a shittier version. Let's see here. Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking through this to see what's be good for me and my companions. And they're all two-handed. Health. I'll take that one. Alright, that looks good enough. Good enough for me.
Fatefinder! The disfavored of scaled...
Alright, so disfavored are really good at physical defense. They're really crappy at magical defenses, so wait till this guy... They're not going to get closer. Oh. Well, I will unleash hell. You have the orders.
By your command.
Fire. And place that here. And I will unleash this here.
Right.
Damn you could pierce cloth.
Now, my attack speed is slow, but when I hit, I do... let's see. 32 health, so I do a decent amount of damage.
I've had far worse.
Stab it. This basic stab is really, really good. So. Forgive me. The sage's voice is weak. Between labored breaths. We have failed you. With one hand cupping her guts, the other hand furiously traces the pattern needed to maintain the protection spell upon the walls. Pain and fatigue set in, and an errant clockwise gesture causes her protection spell to finally sputter and fizzle. The earth shakers will soon topple the walls. Stand clear. The sage pitches forward to retch, her body trembling from exhaustion and fear. Oh, the Iron Marshal. Hi. The Fatebinder? Siding with lowly Tearsman, what in the name of Kairos are you thinking? Halting her stride, and Renyos points to you, singling you out for her squad to see. The people of Apex have shown they're strong enough to deserve their own existence, and wise enough to serve me. So the Tearsmen have seduced you to their hopeless cause. Well, why didn't you just tell me you were a sucker for primitive half-wits and their sob-stories? If you are so fond of these backwards hill people, she flips her massive sword in her hands with a flourish, then I will see to it that you rot beside them in a shallow grave. With a shrill whistle, the Iron Marshal signals her warriors to attack and charges you.
Heads up. We have company.
And wait for them to pile around like a bunch of fools. And stab the Iron Marshal.
Maybe we should try a different tactic.
I can't move!
Oh, shit. That was clever. That was really clever. I need help.
Will do.
Fuck.
Consider it done.
I thought I hit that.
That's as much as I do.
Okay. Still trying to stab. Shit. I thought the Iron Marshal was the threat, but I should remember the #1 rule. Geek the mage first. Oh well. Shadow's treachery. The primordial blade Penumbra turns its victims' shadows against them, wrapping them in their own darkness and weakening to the sword's ephemeral edge. The time the targets remain afflicted by this power scales with Penumbra's renown.
Bleed out, you little shit.
Damn it. Fucking kill that bitch. Fucking all of you.
Consider it done.
Again. There we go. Now I will unleash hell. There we go. There we go. That was way too close. You hear the sustained pedal of a hunting horn blare from the western courtyard.
That came from the courtyard. That can't be a good sign.
It's two-handed. You're damn right it can't. I'm guessing the chorus broke through. Fire will do that to a wooden door. Yep. As they rush for the inside.
Heads up. We have company.
Ah. I've learned from my mistakes. So, after this goes off, he goes to run in like a moron. So I shall fight fire with fire.
Wait! I did that?
Which didn't do hardly anything. I should just suspect that. Alright, well, like... And Eb will counter with... Lightning Storm.
Hey, you won't enjoy this with that side. How am I not dead yet? Damn thing couldn't pierce claw.
Oh, they don't have any resistance to that.
Pay attention, kids. You might learn
Come
something.
on. Alright, let's use another artifact ability. Leech energy.
Oh, iron ring for I need to try a different tactic. This isn't
Especially
working.
since... Oh, Lanatree got him.
I'm injured.
Some life.
The horse moves quickly. We need to hurry inside.
You're damn right. I like how that was verse. And verse stands with me no matter what should I do. Like, I'm not going to take a rest. I probably should, but I'm not going to, just because that gives them too much time to take the tower. I know that means nothing gameplay-wise, but it breaks the immersion if I take a rest, so I'm going to try not to. And I probably don't need to. Not if I plan my spells right. Fatebinder, if you're still in one piece, perhaps we have the chance. The guardsman grips his side, clenching his teeth in pain. We clipped a few of them, but they overran us. They headed deeper into the keep. I have more confidence in the Scarlet Chorus than these idealists. My rings are on them all wearing red before long. Captain Tarkus is making us stand deeper into the keep at Ascension Hall, but the horde is too numerous. She'll be overrun. Our group here won't be able to make our way back in there. There's too many of them. You'll have to go in ahead. Clear a way for us and we'll meet you there when we're back on our feet. We're already doing the heavy lifting through this uncoordinated excuse of an army. That's a pretty shitty standard. He offers verses of your glare. The Fatebinder has pledged to aid us, but you are under no obligation, Fury. Feel free to return to the chorus at your leisure. Believe me, I'm weighing my options. Objection noted. Can we spill blood already? When you put it like that, yes. I'll see if I can nurse my crew back into fighting shape, but you need to press on. As I said, Barrack will probably kill me.
To pile in our weight.
I will bring the flames to the inside of the world.
Damn thing couldn't pierce claw.
And then I'll use my life leech spell.
You won't enjoy this as much as I do.
Will do. You learn something every day.
There we go. I've certainly learned from my mistakes. It also helps when they're in tight corridors.
On it.
I need to remember to use my tight spells. Use my my other spells when I'm not. So I'm gonna try and hit this guy with fire, and I'm gonna use Ebbs. Icicle Storm, like that.
Come to your doom.
Like me miss,
Might I
but
intercede for death and or disfigurement?
since they're all on fire or frozen, and then I'll use.
I got it.
Crap, I'm silenced. Bastard.
On it.
Squirrely bastard, aren't you? This isn't.
I'm no longer silenced, so. I need to get rid of Twisting Flame. It's not very useful.
Break you!
Damn thing couldn't pierce claw.
Stun lock him.
I got it.
Rebound Bolt.
Oh, if I had.
Or he dies from.
Yes.
Good old
Will do.
verse. And I did level up, so I'm going to increase my accuracy. And I'm going to grab Duelist. Oh no, I can't do that. Oh, I like Chaos Blast. I don't know. I'll probably do Shield Bash. I'll take Mighty, probably. Or I'll go with Shield Bash. I'll go with Shield Bash. Because that's a straight-up upgrade.
Heads up, we have company.
Right, yeah, more mages, so... I have my magic back. So
This isn't working.
because so that's my whole strategy, is just hammer them with overwhelming magics.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
My sword is basically there for armor. My whole fighting style is to basically be a tanky mage.
This will be fun.
Okay, so... for this particular combat... that. And that.
Did cause that mess.
And that.
On it.
I'll tear your
Come on.
down out by your ass.
Oh man, he didn't do that. Cool.
Right.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
Come on. There we go. Alright, fine.
Done.
Flames of the Phoenix.
How am I not dead yet?
Lightning bolts. And then shank him.
Pay attention, kids. You might learn something.
This isn't working.
Archer dies.
Wait, I did that? Nice!
There we go. Fatebinder, go on ahead. They're in Ascension Hall. Once I get my footing, I can track down the other survivors.
On it.
What's that? There he goes. I was like,
Sorry, I can't.
there's some kind of ring around this. Also, party stance. So, that should be the stance.
I've got it.
Because that forces them to be in our center.
Sorry.
And if they walk into our center, they will die. Between the epic magical powers. Last chance, Oathbreaker. Serve Narat or die here and now. The Fifth Eye raises his weapons over targets. Also, his changing accents are on purpose. The Fifth Eye raises his weapons over Tarkaseti. Vibrant red energy cackles between the tines of his spear. Tell the voices. Ari leans up close and spits a wad of blood onto the Fifth Eye's mask. And this, and spits a second time. Fool. You would bring fire mages so close to the Spire. The magic will burn beyond your control. But that's what I was thinking. Now then, come fight me. All this posturing as my spear turgid for slaughter. Turn back now. I'll let you live for old time's sake. But if we were to stand down, death by Kairos' edict would be assured. Or did you forget that Kairos' minions must take Ascension Hall lest we all perish? You cannot intimidate us, not when the alternative is the Overlord's wrath. I stand with these warriors. With your death, I will claim Ascension Hall, and the edict will be resolved. Foul law, dog. The Fifth Eye stomps his foot, balling his fists in rage. I will take great joy in anointing Ascension Hall in your blood.
Another battle.
And you were a fool. And the very same thing was like, fire is bad. Fire is very good. Fire is.
Will do.
And shake him.
Wait!
Oh, I missed. Alright. Fire.
Nice!
And since he has no protection against ice,
How am I not dead yet?
and now since he's no console commands, not cheating.
Fucking hurt.
Move here and there.
What is wrong with my weapon?
Since he's vulnerable to ice, and then hit him with specifically an ice attack. And I will heal Verse,
This is embarrassing.
and then I will have Verse use your fire.
Someone stitch me up.
My
I
now!
am.
Tear your scalp out by your rat.
Do that, please do. The fifth eye is literally super annoying
This
to
is
voice.
useless. I should try something else.
See you there.
Man, you're stubborn. Alright. The clatter of madness of combat has finally ceased. Ascension Hall is, for a moment, tranquil. Get up. Get back up and fight. He falls to his knees, head slumping in defeat. With those words, the burning hum you've heard in your head for days on end tapers off into nothing. Your mind returns into a state of quiet you have not felt since before you reclaimed the edict. And with that, Kairos' edict of execution should be no more. You feel a tug in your chest, and a warm energy begins to form around you, and before you know it, you feel as if you're lighter than air. This is a little bit of a longer episode, but I feel it's important to end it on a good narrative point. So, stay with me for a little while longer. We're almost at the end now. You blink away the last luminescent trails of your field of vision. The masonry of Ascension Hall is replaced by a wide open space in every direction, save for the slab of ancient stone beneath your feet. High winds shove you, pushing you off balance. The air is cool and thin, unsatisfying to your lungs. Look, out at the mountains. He points to the distant peaks. That's the apex ridge, and that's the haven line, and judging from the sky, we haven't moved in any direction. Cows be damned, this is remarkable. Is this? Manatee looks out to the horizon, wide-eyed in amazement. Yes, this must be the mountain spire. When was the last time? His eyes look down over the edge. Dumbstruck by the vertical plunge, Lenatry backs away. I may need to retch. This certainly is a change. The wind ruffles the feathers in her hair, and Verse quickly smooths them down. A damn cold change. She peers over the edge. Think I could land on my feet if I jumped? Not that it would matter for long. Every way you look, mountains rise up along a distant horizon. The rivers and forests below bring to your mind maps of Vendrien's Well, and you quickly trace the Matani, the Inev, and all the numerous waterways of the region. Higher than you imagined it, this is indeed the pinnacle of the spire at Vendrien's Well. Narat, help me, somebody! The fifth eye staggers about in the high winds, looking in every direction. Is this some sort of illusion? I have lived in the shadow of these spires for years and always wondered what's atop. But hey, it could be an illusion. Leap off the side and tell us what you learn. If we could feel the edict passing, the Archon sensed it well. And while the edict didn't kill us, I'm sure that any number of the soldiers down there would enjoy the honor. Enough bloodshed for the day. I demand all blades sheathed. You think the Archons will just withdraw? Ari covers his mouth, stifling a grimace. I doubt Ash will rest until the rest of us Oathbreakers are dead, and I doubt the warriors of the chorus even know what it means to tactically retreat. The Archons are feuding. With the edict resolved, they have a greater problem than us. If the lie comforts you, then so be it, but the chorus have no mercy for those who would betray the Archon. When we've heard the last screams of the disfavored, we will come for you. Well, it's just a matter of time until they find their way up here, right? We can start throwing javelins down, but didn't really bring enough, and my aim's not that good. We attach a note to Voith's Narat minion and push him off the edge. The parchment will survive the impact.
I had my reservations about being involved with you, Fatebinder, but this puts them all to rest. I couldn't be more pleased to stand by your side right now. You wouldn't! I have surrendered. I am your captive. You would kill the Overlord's precious servant in cold blood. Take a dictation, please. If you so require it. A quill appears in one hand, a parchment in the other, and Lannister lights in a long, flowing hand your declaration of control. Once done, he hands you the parchment with a stern look. I'll spare you the comment about wishing my work made an impact. Take a note in his gauntlet. Push him off the edge. The Fifth Eye's childish squeal becomes an outright shriek. The Horde will take you. We'll see each other again, Fatebinder, for I can be replaced. Do you hear me? I can be replaced. With some gentle encouragement, the Fifth Eye tumbles over the edge. The infantile screams grow somehow louder as the figure tumbles downward, until half a minute later the scream ends with sudden silence. Sheesh. It's a shame I already titled one of the videos "This is Tyranny" because that's the "This is Tyranny" achievement moment. But yeah, it's good to be rid of that asshole. His voice was the most annoying to do. That's why they kept on changing accents as whatever. I just said screw it, 'cause I don't care. I don't fucking care anymore. He's an asshole, he's dead. That's all that matters. And the Tears might just be united under a single banner against Kairos. If they're not now, they will be. Kairos' armies were unable to break the siege of Vendrien's Well. Thwarted by your intervention, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus were repulsed from the inner keep of the Citadel. Though you stepped out from under the Overlord's shadow, you nevertheless satisfied the terms of the edict, removing the death sentence from everyone in the valley. No sooner had this peace settled than a new danger eclipsed it, the civil war between Kairos' forces. With the threat of execution no longer looming overhead, the Overlord's armies turned their attention away from the Citadel and towards each other. The tensions that flared over the long siege reached an explosive crescendo as the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus armies clashed iron and bronze in a hasty, disorganized battle. The battle that followed was fast and haphazard, with no clear victors or feats worthy of boasting. The Disfavored made an orderly retreat to their fortress in the Bladegrave, while the Scarlet Chorus scattered in every direction, with most heading toward their stronghold in the Stone Sea. As the days passed, the wounded and injured were nursed to health. You explored your strange bastion and planned your next steps with careful deliberation. The triumph of the Vendrien Guard brings hope to the subjugated peoples of the Tears. Other factions, defiant of the Overlord's rule, are encouraged to proclaim their refusal to be ruled by a distant master. Tunon, the Archon of Justice, observes the... Oh god, I have to deal with his ass. Unintended consequences. Observes the chaos and discord spreading across the land. The Archon summons his Fatebinder to return to his court and report on his actions. This is no small thing you've accomplished. People all across the Tears will discuss it. In secret, of course. Kairos is still a threat to this realm, but for the first time we can imagine rising up. In 3 years of war, the best we've ever managed is trifling victory. A skirmish here, a small entanglement there. This is our first major triumph. We endured the combined might of the Disfavored and the Chorus, all with Kairos' edict looming overhead. And going forward, we have the advantage of a divided enemy. For the moment, the momentum is ours. Don't get ahead of yourself. Oh, no, I'm not going to say that. One thing at a time. I got us out of the edict alive, but I have other things to worry about, like Tunon. She clears her throat, her posture shrinking. No, you're right. We asked for your help, and that came with a price. I'm sorry. I did not mean to presume to give orders. Your connection to the court should prevent outright attack unless Narad or Ash are desperate enough to wage war on Tunon. I guess that's not improbable. For everyone's sake, you should report to Tunon, if only to keep up appearances. Like it or not, your fealty to Tunon will shield us from the Archon, so it's best you maintain your relationship with the court as best as you can otherwise. The dizzying energy from the Spire falters. Whatever force awoke the powers that reside here gutters and fades, though a faint hum persists in the sculpture at the center. Strange. portal was here a moment ago. Look around for a solution. The humming from the curious sculpture pulses and builds in volume as if to draw your attention. And with that, I'm going to have to end this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Again, like and subscribe to this if you enjoyed it. I do have a part to play in a D&D podcast where I play Rovarth Mirax, a Dragonborn Warlock. So go and check out We Play RPG's Patreon, and also our our podcast, which is, I believe, on the Google Play Store. I know it's on Apple at the very least. So go check it out. We also, I think, have a website with the episodes on them. That I'm not sure about. No, I know we have one. I just don't remember what the URL is. I'll have to link that in the description. But I'll see you all later. Oh, wait, hold on. No, not yet. Don't leave. Don't leave. Oh, you've already left, haven't you? Also, again, reiterating, if there are any other characters you'd like me to play, or archetypes, rather, I have my own characters set up. Just let me know. The four that I've stated, which is Ethan Drake, the guy I'm playing now. Deckard Vickers, a sort of roguish lad. Kind of like a Trevor Belmont from the Castlevania series on Netflix right now. A little bit more serious, but yeah, basically kind of the same. Eclipse, Valerie Evensong, who is sort of a ranger druid type character. Sort of stealth stab. Defender of the Wilds, all that jazz. And of course, there's also Aurora Valkenheim, but she's sci-fi lady, so she doesn't really exist in these medieval worlds. There is a substitute for her, Eric Eldis, who was a noble of Arctorum. The prince, actually. Kind of a... I haven't decided if he's sword and shield or two-handed. But one or the other. Probably both, now that I think about it. Kind of barbarian-y a little bit. Anyway. If there's any archetypes you'd like me to play, let me know. Because I have characters for all of them. Some better than others. If there's any games you want me to play, suggest them. If I own them, I'll go take a crack at it. If I don't own them, I will consider it. Yeah, that's it. Like, subscribe if you enjoy. And I will. This is now signing off. I'll see you guys in the next one.